Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you for coming out tonight. The Lakeville Library is very excited and proud to host Filomena Tripp. She is a very inspirational lady. I've watched some of her YouTube videos, and I can't wait to take a look at Invisible Courage. Filomena Tripp, everybody.
Hi, my name is Filomena Tripp, and I was born with disability, like you can tell. I come from St. Michael, Azores, and it's not been easy being disabled, but I've overcome my life a lot of goals I achieved. I always fought in my life. Whatever we want to do, we have to fight it. It took me a while to get over my disability because it's not easy to be disabled, because I need some assistance and everything. But I've been overcome. Tried to do my best I can, and finally I achieved my goal, big one. I wrote my book about my personal life, because when I did my book, I thought I was over my past, but sometimes it never gets over. We think we are over about the problems we went through, but when I was writing the book, and it was very emotional to me, I still don't know how I made it until today, because what I went through, it was not easy. But God always was with me. And so after the book came out, and I realized I'm over my past. And I grew up through the book. I feel so free. I'm free. I mean, we all have problems in life. It doesn't matter if you're disabled or whatever. But I really accepted everything in my life, and anyone can read the book, and I feel good about it, because I'm not proud of what happened. A lot of things happen, but that's how we grow. If we never go through things, we never know how to get out of the valley. So when I'm proud of me, because through that, it made me stronger, made me the woman that I am today. If you have any questions, if you want to ask me, it doesn't matter what it is, ask, I'm free.
How long did it take you to write the book?
Basically 1 year.
What was one of the first emotions you felt as you were reviewing your story and writing your book?
It was about when the doctor told my mother that that I shouldn't live. And it touched me a lot, because if my mother listened to the doctor, I wouldn't be here today. So that was very emotional to me.
Do you think anybody with any sort of issue whatsoever could benefit from your story?
I pray that they will, because it's a lot of depression, a lot of mental illness out there, and people give up so easy, and they get just depressed. I mean, we all can get depressed, but we can overcome. I pray that one word, it would help somebody to overcome their lives.
Yeah. I used to work at auctions, so I met you there. And the first time I met you, it was one of the most awful days ever. It was raining so hard. People were canceling everything. And you came through that door in your wheelchair with your red high heel on your foot. And I said to you, oh, what an awful day for you to come out. And you looked at me and it was like the sun shone. You said to me, your words were, any day that you can get out is a wonderful day. And that, I've never, ever forgotten that. Never, never forgotten that. And I think that someone like you, I mean, we all have problems. We all, you know, face adversity now and then, but you doubly so because of your physical disability. And I just think that it's wonderful that you can go out and say this to people. You know, it's so wonderful. I give you so much credit.
But I appreciate very much because it is true. Every day we have to go. It's like I go to work. I work 40 hours a week. I work for Southeastern Center for Independent Living. I'm a independent living specialist. I work with disability. I'm a caseworker. And every day I get to work, people complain. I mean, they come up with all the quotes and everything. You know, I don't use quotes. I try not to. But it's been cold. A couple of weeks in January, it was cold. But, because it's not because I don't like the quotes, but I can't drive with a coat. It's in my way, so I put the heat on, I'm fine. So, but it's like people, oh, it's so chilly. I know it is, but we have to go to work. So I've been working for Southeastern Center for Independent Living since 1999, and I've been working there 18 years. And I try not to miss any day because it's my responsibility to go to work because I chose to go to work. We have to make a commitment. When you have sometimes, yeah, I'll be honest with you, oh, it's too cold, it's raining. It's nice to stay home, in the bed. But I said, no, let's get out, that's it. I guess I was brought up with this. Since I was a little girl, I always had that thing in my, God always was with me, I believe it. Because I have so many ideas, so many, I act like different than all my brothers and sisters. I don't know where they come from, but you know, I love them very much, but they're just like not like me. They don't like to go do crazy things like I do. You know? So, you know.
Tell us, you just mentioned that you drive.
Yes.
I think people would be curious to hear about that.
Okay. Since 1981, my sister got her license, and I was like 20-something. She got her license, and she always was going out with me. We are close friends. I mean, they helped me a lot, you know. And she took me for a ride, and I said, "Can you go to the park, like a park that would be no traffic?" She said, "For what?" I said, "I'm just curious if I can hold the wheel." I was in my mind already to drive. And she said, "You crazy." I said, "No, I just want to see if I can hold it." I never thought they were going to do different. You know, I just thought I could hold my hand, the wheel. So she let me, and she said, you cannot drive. I said, "See, the worst thing with me, don't be negative with me, because I won't take it." So after that, I kept thinking. I said, I can drive. I know I can. So I was involved with Mass Rehab, and I called him, my counselor, and I said, "What do you think if I could go to learn to get my permit?" He said, "Oh, you can go." I said, "Okay." I got to the register of motor vehicles. They didn't allow me to fill it out any papers. They didn't allow me to make an appointment to go to the question. I said, "Why?" He said, "You're disabled." I said, "No kidding." No kidding. So after, he told me, you need the artificial limbs, all that. I said, I went through all that, and it's in the garbage. So after that, I called again, and I said, well, they didn't let me. So I had to go to evaluation, makes more sense. I went to Braintree Hospital, and they evaluated me what kind of vehicle I should get and everything. Then I took my permit. Then I learned how to drive. Actually, I was worried to hold my wheel, but now I have is a cup. It's like a little cup. This hand goes inside there, and I turn the wheel and everything. It took me a while to control that, you know. So I did. Then the day I went for my license. I was so excited. My car had to stay at Braintree because the Mass Rehab said for me not to use too many miles back and forth. So my brothers and sisters used to give me a ride for me to learn to go there to the test, to the lessons. So what happened was my sister took me for the day of my license, and my mother went with me. And so everybody was planning, if I passed, my brother-in-law was going to get the van. So I just let them talk. You know, I don't, because the word can make emotions. So after I went with the police, you know, they're not my favors, but, you know, I never got in trouble. But I just get nervous. So he gave me the paper that I passed. So my instruction said, you want to drive home to the hospital? I said, yeah. So I drove. When I got to the hospital, my mother and my sister were there waiting for me, and she said, Filomena, I'm going to call my Mario, that's my brother-in-law, to come and get the car. I said, no, you're not going to do that. She said, who's going to take the car? I said, I am. Why do you think I took my license? Is to drive. I mean, I'm not saying I wasn't afraid, because it's Route 28 is not easy. So I told her, I said, take me to the cafeteria. I'll drink a glass of milk, and I'm going. She said, you're nuts. Something gonna happen. She said to my mother, you want to go with her? No, I don't want to get that. My mother didn't want to die, so. So I never forget that. So I said, okay. So I said, you just go in the back of me, go in the front of me. If you don't see me, look for me. So I drove like 50, not like 65. It wasn't that speed limit that time. It was 55 anyway. I drove 45, 50. I drove slow. When I got home, I was like all soaked from wet, from nerves, of course. So, but that's the best thing I did, because in my opinion, if I took my license, why would I need him to come all the way from New Bedford to go to Braintree? So I did it, and I'm driving until 1981. I drove.
They just fit the van to you, so you have a handbrake, or what do you?
No. I have my brakes, my pedals, they're higher. But people can drive, like my husband can drive and everything. And they have the lower ones for the regular person, and then I have a high. I transfer to my driver's seat, because I don't want to drive in my wheelchair, because they keep telling me to drive. I said no, because this way I'll move my body and everything. I drive, and then they have, in the old times, it was less, the vans wasn't that modification, you know, even for people. Now everything is automatic, it's more outgraded. So now I don't have too many switches, because they used to put in my door, the driver door, all the switches, like the lights, the brake, not the brakes, the emergency brake, to stop my car and everything. Now I don't start my car with the switch. I have the switch that came with the car. So it's more easy. But I have, like I told you, I have like a little cup. I put my hand there and I turn, you know. So that's how I drive. And then I can close the doors. I'm independent, you know, because I go to work. I need to be independent. Nobody's going to be babysitting me. You know what I mean? So that's what
Well, my voice is bad, but 3 years ago, Filomena and I were having coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, and she got a text, and she answered it. And I went, "You text?" She said, "Well, don't you?" I said, "No, I don't. I never text." So she says, "Takes just 15 minutes. I'll teach you." Well, she taught me, and then when we got to her home, her husband got involved. So 15 minutes later, I was on my way home, and I'm a big girl. I'm texting, so we do text. So she taught me. Thank you, Filomena.
Do you have fingers? Do you have any kind of fine motor, or how do you text?
Well, I tell everybody because my brother said, "I have big fingers and I can't do it." I said, "Well, God prepared me this little thing over here to text." He knew I was going to be texting. So, you know.
Text you.
That's what it is, little points over here. So we never know. So.
I guess the moral of your story is you don't let your disability stop you.
No. I text you now.
I got it.
No, nobody's, nothing.
So what's your next adventure? I see you jumped out of an airplane. What are you going to do next?
I'm not sure. I'm getting over this book now. I'm trying to get it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know you have.
You can text me. It'll ring.
You said you're from the Azores. How old were you when you came here?
What?
You said you're from the Azores?
Yes.
How old were you when you came here?
I was 12. I was going to be 13. I came in August, and October is my birthday.
Wow, so that must have been quite the transition, just coming here.
See, my aunt always wanted me to come to this country because I would get more benefits here. But when I turned 2, my mother used to tell me, my aunt wanted me to come here by myself, you know, and she would take care of me. But my parents didn't let me. So she always had that dream for me to have benefits here. Actually, I got my first wheelchair. The manual was from here. She sent it back there. Because, you know, San Michael, even now, it's not that great for people with disability.
Yeah. Wow. Did you speak English when you came here, or did you have to? No, so you even had to learn that. Wow.
I didn't, and I didn't have school either. I had a tutor at home. I never went with the kids to school and everything.
You'll read about it all in the book.
That's right. I'm not going to tell too much. That's true. That's true.
You must have had a very supportive family then when you were younger. Did it pretty much let you do whatever you could do?
No, not really. No, no, no. No. I didn't listen to them, unfortunately. I mean, I respect my parents, but my mother used to say, you can do this, you can do that. I mean, I didn't. If I listened to them, I wouldn't be today where I am. Yeah, because They were very supportive. They didn't put me in a group home or anything like that. I have a wonderful family, don't get me wrong. But my mother didn't know how to handle me. You know, especially the way I am, she couldn't handle me. You know, but it's true. Because you have to understand that back in the 50s, it was hard for people to accept anything, you know. I think sometimes, after like I read, when I wrote the book, I said, can you imagine how my mother felt when the doctor showed her the baby? You know, it's not easy, but she kept me.
Did she know? She didn't know ahead of time?
No. No. You know, the old times, I mean, back then, they had the babies at home, right? But me, no, because she got worse and she went to the hospital. So, we don't know, but I think I'm happy where I am. I'm content, that's it. No choice. Nothing about it.
No, sure.
I have to accept what I have.
Do you live alone? Do you have a caretaker that helps you dress, or what do you do with
I'm married. This is my husband. The second one. The second one.
First one died.
No, I don't. But you know, yeah. And I have a PCA to come to my house to get me ready to go to work. Yeah, that's the only thing. I cannot take care of my personal needs, like do my hair. I have to have my hair always right. You know, so that's what I mean.
How long have you been married?
22 years, going to 23. Yeah.
Is she the head of the household? It sounds like it.
She's the neck that turns the head.
Yeah, we met in church. Yeah. I never thought I would be married again, because my first husband, I'm not going to say it, you're going to read the book, that's it. He was disabled also. Yeah. So, but he died when we were married, almost 7 years. So, and it was the day of my birthday. So, you know.
I think I read somewhere, maybe No Journal, I believe I saw the story. Did you go into a depression at that time?
Yes, I did. Big time.
I thought so.
Yeah. But I came out. Yeah, that's right. Amen. When you determine, you know, I mean, we all have problems. We all go through depression. Yes, I agree. I mean, but we have to realize one day, like, what am I doing? You know.
Fala português. Fala português.
Sim, senhora.
Quando viemos para a Neta, estava a vender fotografias suas no campo de São Francisco. E meus pais compraram uma fotografia sua, que era pequenina.
A senhora lembra-se disso, yeah? Yeah. Meu pai andava sempre comigo para aí.
Could you translate a question or statement?
She lives in St. Michael. She remembers me when my father was with me around, and she bought a picture from him for me. So tem foto de mim, então. She has a picture of me.
Did you go back to St. Margaret's?
Yes, I did. I went back. What did you say?
Do you go back?
Did I go back?
Not did. Do you still?
You still go back?
When's the last time you did?
Yes, I went 7 years, actually, 7 years ago, almost 7 years, going to be in May. I went to, because the mayor of the St. Michael, the Canberra, the city hall, I had a union, he had a meeting over here about the Portuguese people, the community. And one of my person that knows me, from some reason, I don't know what happened, my name was mentioned at the meeting about, oh, that girl from Lagoa, the disabled woman, she did skydive and all that. And he wanted to meet with me. So this woman calls me at 10 o'clock at night. She said, Filomena. I said, yes, what happened? And she said, oh, this man, his name is Roberto Medeiros, wants to meet with you. I said, he's from Lagoa, he's the mayor, he's the city hall. They call him mayor, they call him president, okay, that's how they do in Portugal, Semic. So, I said, why does he want to meet me? I don't know who he is. So, she said, what day is good for you? I said, well, Sundays I go to church. So, but she said, oh, it's going to take a little bit. Okay, he came down to my house, to our home. And so he said, what? In New Bedford, where I live, because he was here for a visit. And he was so interested, he kept taking pictures or everything he told me, how do I cook, you know, so all that. And he told me he wanted to send me to St. Michael for a visit because he wanted me to do a conference there with the social workers for people with disability. So, well, that was 2009, this starts. So, in 2011, he told me, Filomena, you're going to go to St. Michael, and you're not going to pay your transportation, nothing, and your husband can go with you. I said, that's good. So we went. I went with my husband, and we met there. He had everything prepared. I did 3 conferences there in the schools. No, one was in a big school, and then I did 2 at the hall, things like that. Okay. The 2 of them was people with mental and depressed, and that's why they wanted to show them that we can overcome. And he put the video, the slides, whatever I do, driving, skydiving, cook, and whatever. All the pictures he took from me. So, but the last one, it was 500 kids. And that kids, it was so emotional to me, because whatever I was saying, you know, kids, they kept moving, they never focused, right? No one moved out of there. They just was so observing, you know, to hear everything I said. And I spoke Portuguese, of course. And that was, and then I left, and they kept in the window saying goodbye to me. I was so blessed to have that, because that was so cute. Because the reason is, because when I was growing up, people made fun of me, you know, because I'm a crip or whatever. So that meant to me so much, because the kids overcome their lives already. So.
That was my next question. What was it like growing up as a disabled person?
Say that again?
What was it like growing up as a disabled person?
Wasn't easy. I had a lot of bitter. I didn't, whatever. I'm not going to talk too much about the book. But I was like very emotional. I mean, it was because the way I was brought up with my father. What she just said about my picture, my father used to go all over to parade for money for me. And I hate it. I was so...
He went all over for...
Like to go to feasts, all over the St. Michael, like all the islands in there.
For
money.
Oh,
yeah, like parade me.
Yeah.
And that killed me. That, I mean, that part of my life hurt me more than being disabled, because he didn't have to do that.
But he loved you.
What?
He loved you.
No. He wanted money.
Oh. That's really doing
No.
this
No,
He wanted the money for him, not for your
for him.
well-being, is what you're saying.
Yes. but that's in the past.
Yeah. I think in this country, we're very lucky that we have come as far as we have, knowing about, and it's through someone like you, with people with disabilities that can go on and earn a living and have a life, a normal life.
Right.
like
See,
that.
I mean, I know I'm in a wheelchair and my wheelchair breaks, I'm dead because I need the wheelchair.
But you can get a new wheelchair.
Right, exactly. But it's like, I live like a life like everybody else. Why shouldn't we, anyway? That's my job to teach my consumers. We have the right to live independent.
I've been on a couple of mission trips to Haiti with people from my church.
Oh, yeah.
And while we were there, we had visited, I've been twice, different orphanages. That's what we did while we were there.
Wow.
And those children are sent there, put there, because nobody knows how to deal with that.
Yes.
And that's where they are. But I'll tell you, I've never seen such happy children. They are lovely. They sing, they dance, they have adapted themselves how to get up and down stairs.
Yeah.
And they're just so sweet. They'll sit on your lap. They want to be loved. You know, they're so interested in, of course, because we're white. You know, they're you know looking at you like that. But
They're also very faithful.
Oh yeah,
They're very faithful.
Yeah, they knew us the second time that we went. You know, they were so happy to see us. One of the teenage boys that went with us brought his skateboard there on the plane and left it there for them. Oh, what a blessing to see something like that.
Right.
He was interacting with those kids and they just loved him. But they don't have, there's too many, there's not enough people to help.
Yeah.
You know, we are so fortunate, and like you said, someone like you, anytime you can go out and talk about this so that people understand it, it's wonderful. You are a blessing.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Because sometimes we don't think we can bless, you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
But I know, I mean, it's unbelievable.
I think in this life, if you can change one person.
That's what I want. Believe me. That's what I wanted to write the book. Because I wanted, but I didn't know it was going to affect me to overcome my life more. But my goal was to witness to people that anything is possible. And you know, that's what I wanted to do. And I'm happy I did.
God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think you're also a wonderful representative, because nowadays so many people, women are told that they should get an abortion if there's anything at all wrong with the baby. And I think it's wonderful to see that you can have a perfectly happy life and a good life, even being disabled.
Yeah, you can. And I mean, all my consumers, some are physical disabled, and one of them, I mean, a couple of, I have more than one, but one of them, I never forget. She's a bright lady, oh my God, she's awesome. But she has her hands and legs, okay? But she cannot push something in the shoulder, you know, like she was born like that. Okay. She was living with her mother, and I got this referral to work with her because to get a PCA, a personal care attendant, to help her out. And when I got there, and she looked at me, and we got along very well. And I always tell the consumer, if you're not comfortable to work with me, we'll send somebody else, you know, because some people could be. And she said, no. Well, she got a PCA, and she didn't need a surrogate, like a person to direct the program, because I know she could. And then I said, what about, did you ever think moving out of here, out of your mother's house? Your parents, I said. She said, oh no, and I don't think so. I'm afraid. I said, well, I usually say buy a dog to come, you know, that's my, you know. But so she said, Filomena, yeah, I'll get in. I said, where you want to live? I said, don't worry about it. It's going to take years to get involved with the housing because housing is terrible. It takes. She said, oh, I want to live around the area of my parents, and they had a house in there. I said, no problem. Believe me, it took like almost 2 years for her to get it. She calls me, I was driving. She said, Filomena, you got to come in here because I got to get the keys. I'm going to go see my house. I said, but you know something deep down? I said, what have I done? Because she's not me. I'm afraid. You know, I didn't want her to be in trouble. I mean, something to happen to her. But I said, I'll be right there. So I went. I told I started a problem. I started talk. I saw the management, and I said, well, this thing is not good for her. So I start trouble. I always do. So they moved it. They said they were going to fix and everything. Do you know she doesn't even want to stay to her mother's house one night? She loves to be. She got her cat. When she took a picture, how she takes the plate out of the microwave, she sent me a picture. I said, wow, she encouraged me. See, that's the thing. We encourage each other. See, you think I'm encouraging you guys, you people, but you encouraging me too. That's how it goes. When I saw her, I said, wow, I'm so happy for her. And she is happy. So, you know, we never know. Some people are afraid, and some people, they thought they cannot be. Me, I thought I couldn't, but I didn't listen. But I'm Filomena. So.
Filomena.
Yeah.
It was so impressive, I have to say.
What?
That very impressed. When you're so involved in the disability organization at Fall River, and meeting you at the City Hall in Bedford, the buses and the disabled. And when I saw you, I told you I wrote a book, and someone else said in the room, your book was wonderful. You wrote a book. So we exchanged books that day. And
yeah, we did.
You were near City Hall on the road. I'll meet you there. Well, I go out there, and you're in the driver's seat. That was amazing to me.
Yeah.
And I want you to know, love my dear friend, Joe Williams here, who was a teacher for years in New Bedford, and she came tonight to see you and interview your books. So I'm all excited about that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I just want to say, as active as you are, is as active as she is.
Yeah, she
and
is.
Anywhere you go in New Bedford, where there's
We see her
she'll
all
be
over.
there. Nothing stops her,
No.
not weather,
She's
not
an awesome
crowds,
girl.
not nothing.
Yeah, she is.
That's our baby.
She's an awesome advocate.
Yeah.
I know her. See, but she's fighting too. That's what it is. Yeah.
What was your biggest challenge writing the book?
What?
What was your biggest challenge when you were writing the book?
My challenge when I wrote the book, I just felt that I achieved something. So I was like I could never, I always wanted to write my book, okay? But I didn't have it's not like I always wanted, but I needed somebody to direct, you know. So when I met Janine Sullivan, that's her, right here, stand up, you can stand. When I met her, and she said, why don't you write a book? I said, I always wanted. So she said, you're going to write a book. And she kept encouraging me, and we did it. And it was my challenge. And my challenge is to give to people what I didn't have it. In other words, I don't want people, what I didn't have it as a child, I want people to have it. Don't give up, because life is too short. Because I lost a lot of my life. I mean, I could have started working younger, but I never had a chance. But I tell everybody, I retired when I was young, and now I'm old, I'm working. So I just feel good about it. I feel good about it. It helped me a lot.
What kind of schooling did you have?
When I came to this country, I had a tutor 2 times a week. And then when I turned 22, the government don't pay to have a tutor that time, I don't know now. And he said to me, my teacher, he said, Filomena, if I was you, I would go continue to graduate from high school. I said, where? He said, you could go to night school. I said, oh no, I'm not going out. I was very shy, believe it or not. It's hard to believe, but I was. So he said,
you hadn't discovered those red high heels yet.
I know. Did you notice I always have high heel? So he said, we're going to get involved, and you're going to go to the principal and see when can you start the school. But I didn't have my power wheelchair. I had a manual wheelchair. So he told me, we went there for a meeting and everything. He said, okay. I said, I'll try. But they made an arrangement that the janitor would come down, pick me up, because I couldn't push myself. I cannot use. Well, they had the yellow cab. That time was the yellow cab bringing me, because it was too much we had, of course. I started going. I wasn't comfortable. Not because of the people. They were very nice people. It just, I had to wait for them to move to another room, because we had 2 classes at night school. It's 2 classes. I said, I'm not going to take this. For what? What am I going to graduate for, you know? But then I went, I did it, I started. But then I told my counselor, I said, I cannot do it, because sometimes they forget me in the room or whatever, you know. So I stopped. Then I got my power wheelchair, because that's what I've been fighting for, to get a wheelchair. But they didn't think I could use a wheelchair, I mean a power, because I don't have the hands to hold the control. But they got the idea, this is a cup that we can use in the chin. People can drive a wheelchair. So so when I got my wheelchair, my counselor said, so what's the reason now? You can go back to school. I went, and I graduated in 1981. 1981 was a beautiful year for me. I graduated. I got my apartment by myself, and I got my license. So it was good. You know. So that's what it is. So it was. But that's what I have, high school diploma. But I have like certificates from since I've been working. I have like schools.
Where do you work?
I work for RIB, Southeast Center for Independent Living.
Independent living?
Yeah, independent living, yeah. But I always, I work there, I mean, but I go to meetings to Worcester and everything, and I drive. The other day we were going to do to Boston, but I didn't drive. But I go to Boston. I don't like Boston, but I drive if I have to.
I don't like driving in Boston.
No, I don't. I love 495. That's my best route to go to Worcester. To go.
What about your cover? What's that all about?
Well, when I turned 50, I wanted to do skydiving. So I told my husband, he said, what do you want for your birthday? I said, you don't want to know. They didn't believe I would. I said, I want to do skydiving. He said, what? I said, yeah. I don't know how I got this idea. So at 50, I called places. Even my brother and us, we went to Connecticut. They didn't allow me to do because it wasn't going to be risk. It wasn't safe. So I said, no, I can't do it. I didn't stop. I go to the computer. I looked it up. Where do they have disabled people that do skydiving? Because they have in Newport, but they won't allow me because, you know. So I called Lebanon, Maine. And they said, oh, yeah, just come down. We'll do it. I said, wait a minute. Everybody's different. So I will go there and we'll meet. You decide. This was in September. And it was getting closer to October for my birthday, to be 50. I got there. They said, oh, yeah, well, I don't know if you can do it because we have to make sure everything works all right for you and everything. I said, I have to do it. That's my birthday. Because my dream, it was not to have a party, but it was to have, like, I would do skydiving in the morning. That was my dream. And at the afternoon or at night, I would have a screen TV and put my video for people, for all my people to see. That was my dream, but it didn't happen. Well, sometimes we want something, sometimes it doesn't. So I went there and I kept calling them. I said, it's almost October. He said, well, I'm working on it. A week before, he called me and he said, Filomena, I don't think we have a way to do it before your birthday. I said, you gotta be kidding. So I wanted to cancel the party and everything. My husband didn't want it. So, but he left me a message. He said, Filomena, your dream gonna be alive. I'm gonna keep your dream alive and you're gonna do it. That voicemail I never erased because that's proof. You know, we have to have proof. So when I turned in June, and after my birthday, I went there and it was raining. Always something wrong, always something wrong. So I decided not to tell anybody when I was going to go down there. One weekend, I was at work, and I said, at lunch, I said, I'm going to call them to see if they can. Because I went for the training. The training is not a training. It's if I die, nobody can sue. No kidding. No kidding. I wanted to do it. So I left money. I put money, deposit money there. And then what happened was, it was like on a Friday. I never thought, and they said, oh, we don't have nothing for Sunday. I said, well, she said, Monday we have. I said, well, Monday I'm working, so I'm not gonna miss work. Well, after I hang up, I look at the calendar. It was Columbus weekend. And I didn't know Monday we were off. So I called back right away. I said, listen, mark me down for Monday, because I can't do it. I didn't think it was Columbus weekend. So after, when I got home, I told my husband, I said, we're gonna go. He didn't even know what was going on. We're gonna go to Maine Monday morning for my skydiving. So the big mouth, my husband, went to see my brother for something, I forgot, and he had a motorhome. And he told my brother that I was going to do skydiving. So my brother calls me and said, Filomena, we can go Sunday and we sleep there and everything. I said, who told you? Oh, Jim. I said, okay. So we went. On the Sunday afternoon, we parked the car there, the motorhome. And then we waited for 9 o'clock in the morning, Monday. I didn't sleep all night, I'll be honest with you. I said, I want to be right. If I'm going to go up, good. If I'm going to go down, that's good. So after 9 o'clock, my brother drove us there. And then they tried on me and everything. So then I got there. I had to go in a private plane, you know, like by myself with them. And the plane didn't want to start. It didn't. It was all taped around. It's a garbage. I mean, it was an old. He took me in. I said, well, I went in. I said, he said, didn't want to start. I said, yes, it's going to start. I'm going to do it. And he said, well, I kept going. Then it started. So we went out. Finally, I said, good. It was like so amazing. I don't have words to explain it to you what skydiving to me was. Then he kept saying, we're higher, higher, higher. I said, keep going. So the only thing is when the guy went in the back of me, the attendant, the only thing was when he opened the plane door, the door, we looked down. I said, wow, it's all clouds. We don't see nothing. I said, what did I get into? Too late to turn back. So I did it. And if you see the video, looks like I always did. I was happy. People say, you were happy. I said, why would I be miserable? And I wanted to do. So that's what I did, and I loved it. It was a good, beautiful experience. Didn't happen in 50, but kept going. 51 did it. People told me, my mom, even my family said, you're going to die. You're testing God. I said, I'm not testing God. I'm giving the glory to God that I can do it.
Can people find your videos on YouTube?
Yeah.
YouTube by searching your name, Filomena.
Just Filomena Tripp or Invisible Courage, yeah.
Do you speak at churches, like to give your testimony, your story? Or
yeah. They want me to, yeah. Anyway, I talked in my church.
Are you going to sign books tonight?
Why, you want a book?
I bought 10.
Yeah, I know.
But this gentleman would like you to sign his book.
That's fine. No problem.
You want to do that now? Sign books and refreshments?
Do you have any more questions? I thank you very much for everything, for everybody to be here. It means a lot to me. I appreciate it, and I thank for the for Emma to let me in, send me here, right? Sorry, my pronunciation. I really appreciate very much, and I hope one word will encourage you all. Because life is not easy. It's a lot of trials out there, but we keep going.